It is no news that when you start having children, I mean, when you get married and you start having kids, even if it's one child, even if it's two children, your marriage in one way or the other start to change. Some marriages might suffer for it, if not all marriage. I mean, because you're starting to have kids, so many things will now be put into consideration, which can actually affect the love between you and your partner, can affect your connection, can affect your communication, and so many other things in between. And as someone who is married, I know this for a fact, and I have a child. I know this for a fact that when you start to have kids, you need to put in a lot of work in your marriage, because I mean, that kid or that child that you have would definitely bring in a lot of things, good, bad, and so many other things in between. So hi guys, first of all, welcome back again to my channel. It's me, your favorite baby girl, Aisha Badmus, and welcome back to Everything Nice. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about how to keep your love life alive, like how to keep the love alive in your marriage, even with having kids. Like even if you have one child, two children, 100 children, there are still ways in which we can keep our love sparking, burning in our marriage, even with kids. Okay, so that's what we're going to be talking about in today's video. And if this video is something that interests you, trust me, you want to make sure you watch this video to the end. Before we get right into the video, okay, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, and do all of that good stuff to my YouTube channel. It makes me really happy, and I'll see you in a bit. Welcome back guys. There are so many things that can cause changes in marriage apart from kids, but in today's video we're going to be talking about kids. I mean, when you get married, you start to have children. It is normal, it is no news that your marriage will start to change. Now it depends, the change that your marriage is going to experience, it depends on you. If it's going to be a good change, it's going to be a bad change, it depends on you and your partner. And I also believe that when you get married, before you start having kids, you actually need to put in effort to make your marriage work. But once you start having kids, I feel like you're going to put in more effort, like 100% more effort, like you double or triple your effort when you start having kids, because the process of transitioning from being a family of 2 to being a family of 3 or a family of 4 if you have twins, as the case may be, is a whole lot. Okay, so it's gonna take a turn on you guys. There are so many things. So even if your marriage is not the best before, trust me, this period of you having children or having a child might even make it worse. So there are ways in which you can keep the love burning, keep the love alive. I mean, that marriage is something that you want to spend, that person is somebody you want to spend the rest of your life with. So you don't want to spend the rest of your life with somebody that you're not happy with, or somebody that the marriage is shaking. There are a lot of ups, there are a lot of downs, no happy moments and all of that. So that's what we're going to be talking about in this video. And I feel like there are a lot of things that can cause change in marriage when you start having kids or children. Number one of them is responsibility increase. There's financial responsibility increase. There's lack of connection, lack of communication. I mean, you both are no longer partners. You guys are still partners, sorry. You are now like, you have graduated from being partners to like parents, so it's a whole lot on your end. So responsibility increase in the sense that if you normally buy maybe a bag of rice before, definitely it's gonna change to buying like 2 bags of rice or something like that. You get to spend more money financially. You get to maybe take the child to school, pay school fees, pay for daycare, buy more groceries. Basically, every spending that you do in your home, especially for the man, is gonna double, because, or even triple, depending on how many children or how many kids you have. And when there is more financial burden without an increase in salary, definitely is gonna affect how the marriage will be. Is going to affect the communication and all of that. But there are ways in which you can keep this burning without it affecting it so much. Another one is lack of connection. Lack of connection also affects marriage when we start having kids. I mean, you start having kids and you don't feel connected to your wife anymore. Some men will say maybe because she's now fatter, which is a very bad thing to say. I mean, she gave birth to that child for you, so whether she's fat or she has stretch marks or not is not a reason. I mean, she had to go through that to bring a child to life. So many things, you get to lack connection. You also get to lack communication, like your communication suffer for it. If you guys have time to like always talk, you talk for hours in a day, for hours at night. I mean, trust me, when you have start having children, communication will also lack. You also lack communication because your especially your wife, she might not even have the time to talk as much as she normally talks, because I mean, maybe during the day she has stressed herself taking care of the child. All she wants to do at night is to sleep, and that's when you guys can have the conversation. Or you go to work and she goes to work. There is really no time. I mean, when you start having children, what basically happens is that there is divided attention. You get, even you as a man, you get to have divided attention. If all your focus was on your wife before, when you start having kids, you start focusing on your children now. The same thing applies to the woman. If all your focus used to be on your husband, now you start having to divide that attention and also focus on your children. I mean, especially for mothers, for women, the whole parenthood motherhood journey is a whole lot. So yeah, you can lack communication, your connection begins to decrease, responsibility increase, because I mean, so many more things to do: buy diapers, buy cream, buy formulas, buy food, and all of that. Okay, so yeah, those are the things that tend to happen when we start to have kids in our marriage. We can definitely cause a stunted growth. I mean, you don't see yourself maybe moving forward in your marriage. People tend to fight a lot, but trust me, there are so many ways in which we can keep the love burning, in which you can make sure that even your marriage even gets stronger regardless of whether you have kids or not. And that's what we're going to be discussing in this video. Okay, I'll be sharing realistic ways in which we can keep, I'm saying realistic ways because yes, I'm married and I have a child, and I really understand this topic, and this topic is a topic that's very dear to me. So I'm going to be sharing realistic ways in which we can keep the love going, in which we can improve intimacy with our partner regardless of whether we have kids or not. These are my realistic experiences, and also experiences that I've heard from other people and also from my research. Okay? So number one way in which we can continue to keep the love alive in our marriage is to acknowledge the change. Okay, yes, I feel like in everything you do, you need to be self-aware. So you guys need to you and your partner need to acknowledge the fact that yes, this is a change that is normal. Okay, don't beat yourself around it. Don't beat yourself up. Don't say, oh, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? You're not even giving me attention. No, we need to understand each other more in this type of situation. Okay, in this process, in this phase that you are in, you need to understand each other more. You need to acknowledge the fact that yes, it's a change and it is normal for all these changes to happen. Now, I feel like what you should focus your energy more on is how to make yourselves better person regardless of whether you have kids or not. How to make yourself better partners, and always remember that you were partners before you became parents. Okay, so you need to make sure that you acknowledge the fact that okay, yes, we know that all these things are happening in our marriage because we now have kids. I mean, there is divided attention, there's responsibility increase, and all of that. We don't have time as much as we used to. Now we have so much responsibility at hand, so you need to acknowledge that first. Then after acknowledging the fact that this change is normal without beating yourself too much about it, then you now go forward to making sure that you work on it with intentional effort, compromise, communication, so many things. You just need to put in so much effort, intentional effort in capital letter, in making sure that the marriage works and works better. Okay, another ways in which we can improve our love life or keep our love alive when we start having kids is to prioritize quality time. Yes, no matter how small it is, no matter how little it is, even if it's 1 hour per day, make sure that you prioritize quality times. I mean, you used to have a lot of quality time together, but trust me, when you start to have kids, the amount of time you get to spend together will reduce. And when I'm saying the amount of time you get to spend together, not just staying in the same house. Quality time means staying in the same house and actually doing things together. Number one quality thing you can do is eat together. There's no big deal, and that's the least thing you can even do. I mean, when you dish your husband's food, you can dish your own together, eat together on the same plate, if possible share the same spoon. There's nothing wrong with each other. There's nothing wrong with it. Feed each other. Another thing you can do is to pray together. As couples, it's very important to pray together. That will strengthen the bond. So you want to eat together with your partner, pray together with your partner. Make sure that you sleep in the same room. Do not say because you start to have kids, you want to change your room or have separate bedrooms to your partner. It is not advisable. So make sure you sleep in the same room, you eat together, you pray together, you engage in meaningful conversations, even if it is 1 hour. You send text messages. I mean, your husband can be at work and you just say, oh babe, how is your work going? How is work going? Hope you are doing fine. Have you eaten? I love you. Little gestures like this matters and says a whole lot. All these things are the things that's going to keep the marriage alive and keep the love burning, regardless of whether you have kids or not. And when I mean quality times, you don't have to spend all the time in the world together, okay? Even if it's 30 minutes of your time in a day, even if it's 1 hour before you guys, okay, for instance, if you guys are workers and you guys go to work and come back at night, even if it's 1 hour before you go to bed, just sit together. I mean, maybe when the children are sleeping, and try to have quality times. Especially women, we know that you are tired from motherhood, from work and all of that, but trust me, 30 minutes or 1 hour of your time is not going to hurt you, okay? Just try and spend as much as you can spend with your partner. It's going to really help you a lot, okay? So prioritize quality time, no matter how small it is. Do things that makes your marriage better. Do things that people love to do even before you get married, even before you start having children. Play games together. If there are hobbies that people like to do together, do them together, and so many other beautiful things together. Another thing you want to do is communication. I cannot overemphasize this. When we start to have kids, communication suffer for it a lot. You get to realize that you're in the same house with your partner, but you do not communicate as effectively as you should. So communicate as much as you can. Communicate your needs, communicate your wants, communicate your dislikes, communicate your likes. Tell your partner everything that you want him or her to know. Babe, I don't like this. I like that. I don't like how you do this. I don't like how you do that. Babe, I want you to help me do this. Especially mothers, if you need your husband to help you in any way around the house, please try as much as well to open up to these people. Some of them don't know that you actually need help, so open up to them. Tell them, oh babe, can you please help me sweep? Can you please help me bath her? Can you please help me do this? Just try and communicate as much as you can communicate. Even via phone, it's communication, physical communication, and make sure you communicate in a very good way. So it is very important that you communicate with your partner. I mean, communication suffers for it a whole lot, but yeah, there are ways that we can still keep it going, okay? Communicate a lot. Don't always assume. Assumption is the problem that most of us have in our marriages. We tend to assume a lot. Oh, I think you should do that. I think you should do that. I think you should know that my head is spinning because of the baby. I think you should know that the baby has poo-poo. Anything you want, communicate your needs, your wants with your partner. That's the only way forward, okay? Another one is supporting each other. I feel like this is the greatest of all the process I have mentioned. Support each other as much as possible. You see, when it comes to parenthood, both partners suffer for it. The women suffer for it, the men suffer for it. Like, it can be really challenging and overwhelming. I mean, really frustrating at times. I mean, when you, especially as new moms or new parents that you don't even know what to do, you have never had a child before, you have never even got to maybe stay with someone that just had a child. So it can be really a lot. It can be a lot, honestly. Your hormones and all are all over the place. So the only thing that you both can do to yourselves is to support each other, okay? Support each other. If you know that you can help this person to clean, help the person to clean. If you know that you can help your husband to wash his car, help your husband to wash his car. There is nothing wrong with it. If you know that you can help him take his bag to the car, help him take his bag to the car. If you know that you can help your wife wash the plates, help her wash the plates. If you know that you can help your wife wash clothes, help her wash clothes. Any help that you feel like you are capable of rendering to her, please, as much as possible, render it to yourself. It will go a long way. Parenthood generally, not only motherhood, is a lot on both parents. So all you need to do is to hold each other's hands and support each other. When you support each other, nobody's going to feel more overwhelmed than the other, or nobody's going to feel more frustrated than the other. That way, you people are doing things together, which is going to make the marriage way better, okay, and just going to make everything grow. So you need to support each other as much as you can. Support around the house, support with groceries, support with cooking if you can. Just basically, when you start having kids, what you need to do now is teamwork. You both need to come together, hold your hands together, and do things together that would make the marriage and your love life work better and improve, okay? And don't forget that you need to always compromise, trust your partner, understand your partner, okay? This motherhood, this fatherhood is already a lot on you guys, so the least you want to do is not to understand your partner. So always give them benefit of doubt, always understand them, communicate as much as you can communicate. Trust me, I have been there, I am still there, and I know all these things in total. That's why I'm here to share with you guys. I hope you learned a tool from this video, and let me know what part of this process to keep your love life alive makes sense to you, or what parts do you really enjoy. And also, thank you so much for watching my video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, and all of that good stuff. If there are contents that you want to see from me, from motherhood, fatherhood, relationship, anything basically, please let me know in the comment section. I will sure to make them for you. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.